Thank you very much, Viviana. And you are absolutely right, sister. Driving Rush Limbaugh up the wall is nothing less for me than a badge of honor. Limbaugh doesn't get it, and he never will. He thinks we're lunatics because we won't give up, and we won't back down in the fight for workers' rights, for human rights, for women's rights, for voting rights, in the fight for economic justice, in the fight for a level playing field, in the fight to protect the most vulnerable, in the fight for the equal opportunity, in the fight for a better America. Well, AFSCME, if that's the definition of a lunatic, then AFSCME, we are all lunatics. That's great. It's great to be in the Windy City. It's Council 31 in the house. I didn't hear you. It's Council 31 in the house. Let's show our thanks to the best union in the state of Illinois for hosting this convention. Give them another round of applause, sisters and brothers. No, I know that Council 31 is loud and Council 31 is proud. But how about the rest of us? Is AFSCME in this house? All right. And let's show some love for Viviana and all the VMOs who were part of that program. Wasn't that great? Wasn't that program great? They were outstanding, just like their contributions to our union. You know, throughout our 50,000 Stronger campaign, these VMOs and hundreds of others kept on spreading the gospel of AFSCME. They kept on pushing. And today, we are not just 50,000 Stronger sisters and brothers, we are 92,155 Stronger. Ninety-two thousand voices stronger, 92,000 fighters stronger, 92,000 warriors stronger. That's an incredible achievement. But we've still got work, much work ahead of us. I know we can do it because I've crisscrossed our nation for the past 2 years. And I've seen what happens when we aim high. I've met you. I've met you on the job. I've spoken with you at conventions. I've stood with you on picket lines. I've seen our frustration become motivation, our aggravation become courage, and our anger become action. And I know that no matter where we are, no matter what the issue, no matter how difficult the struggle, we are moving forward with boldness, with bravery, and with determination. You know, we know what it means to be caught in a storm. We understand what it means to be tossed on rough seas. Getting through the storm takes not only courage, but it takes perspective. You have to focus. You have to focus on what you're going through, yet envision where you want to be. AFSCME, I'd like to tell you the storm is over, but that storm rages on. Attacks on retirement security, assaults on collective bargaining, assaults on the public services that hold communities together, attacks on the good public service jobs that built the middle class. Our opponents want to deplete the labor movement of resources, They want to steal our power. They want to silence our voices. They don't want to hurt us. They want to take us out of the ballgame completely. They're even undercutting the most fundamental right we have as Americans, the right to vote. And just 2 weeks ago, the U.S. Supreme Court dealt us a very serious blow. In a case called Harris versus Quinn, the majority made it more challenging for us to represent home care workers and child care providers. But the impact goes even deeper. This decision could undermine those workers' ability to engage in meaningful collective bargaining with their public employer, just because they don't fit someone else's definition of a public employee. But if anybody thinks we'll give up because things just got a little harder, then they're dead ass wrong. They're dead ass wrong. If you are a home care worker, if you are a child care provider, your job is every bit as vital as the bridge inspectors who ensure safe travel, the corrections officers and police officers who protect our communities, the nurses, EMTs, and patient care workers who heal us every single day. We're all part of this union family, and we face the future together. We face this future together. And together we'll keep raising our voices. For us, the idea that we're all in this together is it's a point of American pride. But the perspective of too many folks at that top of the economic heap is this: I got mine, and I'm coming after yours too. Right here in the state of Illinois, there's a candidate for governor who fits that mold. He's Bruce Rauner, a billionaire investor. You can boo him, go ahead and boo him. Now get this. He paid himself $53 million last year, yet he wants to cut the minimum wage. He calls us corrupt and wants to gut our pensions, wants to steal our rights. And he's got plenty of company across the country. Another wannabe governor, this one in Connecticut, says he's just waiting for it. Now get this, he's waiting for a Wisconsin moment. In state after state, extremist politicians are looking for any opportunity and every opportunity to destroy us. But AFSCME, their opportunity will not come. It will not come. You know why? You know why, sisters and brothers? Because this is our time, this is our moment, and this is our opportunity. During the past 2 years, we've united around our major challenges. We've reached out and built relationships with other unions, coalition partners, and community allies. We've motivated sisters and brothers throughout our union, from our longest-serving retirees. Give retirees a round of applause for what they have done for this union. And we're teaming them up with the future of our union. That's the next waivers, our next waivers in the House. More of us have stepped up as activists and leaders. We've become more resilient, and our commitment to solidarity has truly deepened. Through our solidarity, we can champion the values we believe in. Our values help level the playing field for working families so that all of us are included in America's promise. Leveling the playing field requires a collective bargaining, which built the middle class. Collective bargaining must be respected. Leveling the playing field. Leveling the playing field requires that working families earn a decent living and retire with dignity and respect. Leveling that playing field. Leveling the playing field requires that our political system be accessible to all of us, not to the highest bidder. Leveling that playing field. And leveling the playing field requires that public services keep the most vulnerable from slipping through the cracks and be strong enough to protect our communities. You know, once upon a time, nobody was a better advocate for these values and for the rights of all workers than the American labor movement. Even non-union workers understood that the stronger we were, the better off they were. But you know what? Got to be honest with one another. We stopped making our case. We mistakenly believed that the rights we won could never be lost. Today, we must regain our passion because we're the last line of defense for working families across this country. The forces against us know that we are the only barrier standing between them and their plan to reshape and remake America. They want more power. They want more wealth at the expense of the rest of us who are working hard and playing by the rules. But sisters and brothers, we will protect public services. We will protect retirement security. We will protect our rights. We will protect our union, and we will protect our nation. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. In this epic battle, there will be setbacks. But we refuse to let them become permanent reversals. You don't close the book when the hero's at a crossroads. You don't leave the movie when Apollo Creed knocks Rocky down. And you don't leave when Norma Ray takes that piece of cardboard, writes union on it, and climbs on top of that table. Sisters and brothers, you don't leave. Sisters and brothers, AFSCME does not leave. Setbacks. Setbacks may slow us down, but we know how to keep going. We know how to keep going through the storm. And sisters and brothers, we are achieving victories. Hear me now. We are achieving victories across this nation. Now, when you think of a major battle, you wouldn't necessarily think of a small city called Enid in the right-to-work state of Oklahoma. But a major battle lasting nearly a decade is exactly what we had to fight there. In 2004, the state legislature said many cities, including Enid, had to bargain with employees. But local politicians who objected to the law went to court, and the state Supreme Court sided with them. Well, members of Local 1136, they didn't back down. They kept fighting in the courts and eventually won a victory, only to have their bargaining rights repealed once again. AFSCME Local 1136 once again geared up. They collected signatures and put a local charter amendment on the ballot. And sisters and brothers, last November, we won that amendment and we won back our rights. Sisters and brothers, This story is not just about Oklahoma. We have a stake in Enid, and Enid has a stake in New York, in Minnesota, in Maryland, in Montana. We face hard times together, and we overcome hard times together. In Pennsylvania, the extremists pushed a paycheck deception bill that had only one purpose: to starve our union. Their campaign was financed by none other than the Koch brothers. We can do better than that. The Koch brothers. And that's not all. Our pensions were on the line. The governor said he would refuse to sign a budget unless it included changes that would have ended retirement security for state and public school employees. Well, on paycheck deception, here's what we did. AFSCME members and thousands of our union sisters and brothers from across the labor family took over. They'd only not walked up to it, they took over the state capitol. Council 13, with the support of Councils 33 and 47 and District 1199C, they rallied, they marched, they lobbied, and they won. And that's not all. That's not all. Just days ago, Governor Tom Corbett signed the budget, and it does not touch our pensions. It doesn't diminish our retirement security. It doesn't privatize our work. That is AFSCME in action. The story is not just about Pennsylvania. It's about Tennessee. It's about Alaska, Texas, Connecticut, Arizona, and Indiana. AFSCME, we demand what's right together, and we move forward together. At the University of California, thousands of our members sought a contract that would put students, patients, and workers before profits. The UC executives make millions there. Yet our members had a hard time supporting their kids. Tried to negotiate in good faith. The university, however, wouldn't budge off their demands. But Local 3299 was not discouraged. There you are over there. Members picketed. Now get this, they went on strike twice. Students and worker-friendly lawmakers joined their campaign. And finally, the university said no more. And today, we have a contract with wage increases, secure benefits, and safety protections because of the vigilance of Local 3299, because of the vigilance of AFSCME. AFSCME, wherever we are, we don't back down. This story is not just about California. It's about Washington State, Nevada, Massachusetts. It's about Iowa. AFSCME, no matter where we are, we stand up together. In Missouri, when a right-to-work bill was introduced at the start of this year, we were ready to stand up. As soon as that bill dropped, we delivered 7,000 handwritten letters to the state capitol. Not only did we defeat it, with faith leaders and other allies, we kicked paycheck deception too. We killed it. But the story is not only about Missouri, it's about Georgia, Kansas, Kentucky, Delaware, and New Jersey. AFSCME, we overcome our challenges together. Perhaps no place paints a clearer picture of our spirit than Wisconsin, where our great union was born. When Scott Walker tried to crush us, AFSCME Wisconsin Councils 24, 40, and 48 understood that we could either walk away or we could make a way. So our entire union stood together. Members converged on the state from coast to coast, California to New York. In our home states, we rallied to show our solidarity. Now, we've got to be honest with one another. It's true that we've taken a hit, and our numbers have declined in the state of Wisconsin. But I'm here to tell you this, and I think they deserve a standing ovation for what they've been through. The activists in Wisconsin today are some of the most dedicated and committed we have in our union. They are loud, they are proud, and they are AFSCME, and we're going to win in November and get rid of Scott Walker. This is our story. This story is not only about Wisconsin, it's about the Dakotas, Puerto Rico, Maine, Colorado, and Florida. AFSCME, we face defeats. We may face defeats in the future, but we will never be defeated. It looked like defeat for us in Ohio when John Kasich signed his union-busting law. But that was not the end. It opened up an opportunity for us to make the case for workers' rights and how they connect with a strong and vibrant middle class. And it gave AFSCME, Ohio Council 8, OCSCA, and OPSI a chance to enlist our neighbors and friends and allies in our cause. And everyone in this room knows how that story ended, don't we? We led a citizen's veto, and we kicked John Kasich's ass. The story is not only about Ohio, it's about Louisiana, North Carolina, Hawaii, New Hampshire, and Oregon. We may fall, but we get back up together. Vermont's home care workers are standing tall with AFSCME. After 2 years of organizing, 2 years of driving up narrow roads in the Vermont hills and knocking on doors, we crossed that finish line. By a 71% margin, home care workers voted to join AFSCME last fall, and just last month, AFSCME Vermont Home Care United signed their first contract. These sisters and these brothers, they're on their way to a better life. And I got to tell you, the United States Supreme Court will not slow them down one bit. This story is not only about the Green Mountain State, it's about West Virginia, Washington, D.C., Rhode Island, Utah, and Michigan. AFSCME, we grow stronger together. And right here in Illinois, our strength meant victory for state workers. Since 2011, Council 31 has been demanding the negotiated raises that were canceled by the state. Our members' activism never, ever wavered. We overwhelmed the legislature with phone calls and emails, and because of that determination, the state will finally put $50 million into our members' paychecks because of that determination. This month, listen up, retirees, not only in Illinois, but across this country. We won a huge victory for our Illinois retirees. The state Supreme Court, the court said that health care benefits for state and university employees are protected by the state's constitution. Protected. The court's ruling means the state cannot diminish these benefits or impose higher premiums. The decision is clear. Illinois politicians cannot ignore the state constitution. And just 30 miles away in Will County, the members of AFSCME Local 1028 were struggling for an agreement that wouldn't double their health care costs. And after 15 months of hardball tactics by the county, 1,000 frontline employees went on strike for 16 days. 16 days. And I am so proud to report that on day 17, those members won a fair contract. This fight, this battle that we're in, it's about Virginia and Illinois and Nebraska and Arkansas and New Mexico. These stories of determination are about all of us, wherever we are, whatever the challenge. You know, our founders faced challenges we cannot imagine when they built this union. They faced many challenges. Nobody gave them anything. They struggled for every bit of ground they gained. And sisters and brothers, if our founders could fight for our union 78 years ago, we can and we will fight for our union today. We're going to fight. We are going to fight. Look at our history. Look at our history. When the 1,300 sanitation workers of AFSCME Local 1733 went on strike in 1968, determined to demand respect as black men in the Jim Crow South, you know what they did? They fought for their union. When the librarians of AFSCME Local 101 stood up, they stood up in San Jose in the nation's first strike for equal pay. They fought for our union. When we went state by state to win collective bargaining laws, organize new members, and demand our rights, sisters and brothers, we fought for our union. And when we resolved at the start of this year to get stronger, we just didn't get 50,000 stronger, we got 92,000 stronger because we fought for our union. And this November, we must work the phones, knock on those doors, and canvass neighborhoods in support of candidates and elected officials who support us. Because you know what? We continue to fight for our union. Are you fighters? Are you fighters in this room? I didn't hear you. Are you fighters in this room? Sisters and brothers, we are the agitators. We are the crusaders. We are the disruptors. And yes, sometimes we are the troublemakers. But most of all, we are the game changers. We are bold. We are brave. We are determined. We are AFSCME. We are AFSCME. We are AFSCME. We will fight for our rights. We will fight for working families. And we will fight for our nation because we are AFSCME. God bless you.
Can we go back